Hey Jay, this is Papa Rocks. I haven't been trading for the past month and a half, pretty much. It's been October, November. My work's been picking up a little bit, and I had to make sure I put some attention to that. So, I have made sure that I was studying in my off time, make sure I come back better and stronger than I was when I first started this whole thing up. But today was a good run. This was a simulated trade, so I don't want to make it seem like I pulled in this money. But at the end of the day, it was a total of I think it was $330 today. So I did 220 on the way up and 110 on the way down. I grabbed a 335 call and a 335 put, and I'll show you exactly kind of where I had purchased those and where I sold those, so you can get a good look right here. I bought in my calls at two contracts for 236. I scaled one of them out for 315. I bought an ad at 272, which then I sold that ad 335 and sold the last one at 281 for a small profit over the break-even point. On the put, I purchased two at 189, sold one of those at 262, bought another one at 256 for an ad, and then I sold both of those for 243 for a very small loss. I shouldn't have taken this ad, and I'll kind of show you that one too as well. As I didn't, uh, I don't know. I don't know what I was thinking, but anyways, so today the consensus was that it was going to fail Tesla. I didn't even explain which one I was looking at, but Tesla was what we're looking at, and we were thinking I was going to look for a fail. Now, one of the things I was learning from my past history of trading was that I wasn't being patient enough. I wasn't allowing the trade to come to me, and I was chasing it, and because of that chase, I'd get a bad entry, and it'd make me feel nervous and fearful, and I'd end up making mistakes. So I could never feel like I was in the driver's seat and comfortable. When this one didn't come to the J lines 1 minute or the J lines 3 minute, which was about to hear, I didn't decide to take it. I figured, you know what I'll do? I'll be patient and maybe it'll come back up for a solid rejection, at which point I can take it. When it came back up, I was noticing that it was building a support here at 334.50 and a resistance at 335.50, which was also the 200 EMA on the 1 minute. As it got to this point, it sat on this J line. I was hawking down, the tape, making sure I was watching exactly what was occurring. And something I wasn't normally doing in the past for whatever reason, even though you say it all the time, I just was a new trader. I just wasn't applying it for whatever reason. But today I was concentrating more on what the volume was doing too as well. So I noticed that because I was watching the tape more, I was also kind of watching the volume more too. I don't know exactly what happened there, but it's all good news. And I noticed that it was catching on the J lines here, and we're getting a good amount of volume and volume pushing over our last bar. I went for the purchase of my two contracts, which I showed you previously. It pushed through that 200 EMA, and it kept going up. I sold it right here. I took my ad right here because I was thinking that I was watching the tape too as well. The ad happened about right here, to be honest. Um, I saw that it was going to catch, which I was anticipating it. I drew this box here before the candle even got there, just so I'd have an idea of where my 235.50 line was, that support slash resistance, which is now working as support. But anyways, it took that bounce up, and I bought my ad right at this point. Sold up here. I know it sounds like I'm top ticking. I didn't top tick, but I did get pretty damn close, so I'm proud of myself on this one. And then sold that ad, and then the last one I came down to about here. This was slightly above break even at that point. I think it was about right here, slightly above break even at that point. And because I didn't wait for the J lines, I should have probably given it more cushion. I didn't. I cut it right here because it was right above the break even, and I felt like I was in control the whole time. I just was fine with what I had instead of maybe I should have held it because it could have bounced back up and kept on going, but I released it. The next one was the puts, so I'll show you that side real quick. That was the calls. What I had said, purchased at 236, sold at 315, bought it at 272, sold at 355, and then sold the last one at 281. Now for the puts, I saw it go below. Again, I've been watching the tape the whole time here. I was seeing that 334.50 holding up again. Right here, it was where I was expecting the again resistance to happen. I blew through that 200 EMA. When it came up here, it had a high wick, and I saw the tape just kind of crush and blow. I wanted again to make sure that I was being patient because that was the lesson for today. It came up the J lines, and I went for my purchase right here, and I sold out at about right here, I believe it was. This was pre-market low, and I had made a mark for that when it was about up here, just kind of thinking where we might see some type of, I know this was the lowest low, but I had marked the pre-market low too as well. When it came through that, I sold one of my contracts. It moved up, and now I took I saw this happening right here, this 334 and this 334 kind of 50 area. I was seeing some kind of like play between these two, and for whatever reason, I took an ad right here on this 334.12, and it bumped up, and I took like maybe a $10 loss or something like that. It didn't take much of a loss, but I sold the 2 contracts that I had left over. Bam, right here, which was not bad. I mean, he still went, but I was unhappy with myself for taking this ad because it taken myself a little bit out of it gave me a bad average, which then took me out of the trade in like the driver's seat, so to say. But anyways, this was the trade overall for Tesla today, Friday, November the 8th. This was the 335 puts, so you can see how it's kind of scaling. And then this was the bad ad that I didn't like and quickly sold out of those 2 contracts. Very close to average. But I hope this was helpful. It's helpful for me to even get it off, to speak it out loud. And hope you're having a good weekend. Peace.